people that, if you're following them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, something like that, they have 8 monkeys that live in the house with them. And now 2 kangaroos. They don't live in the house. Kangaroos can't be potty trained. But, yeah, so these guys, I'm going to get the other one out right here. And we're going to be meeting for the first time. All right. Well, this is how a kangaroo is until it's... This is how one is until it's full time out. And they go in a little pouch. And when you hold the pouch out in front of them, they jump into it head first. Oh, really? Yeah. That's how they go in the monkey's pouch head first. Here's that little girl. She's going to help out with us. Clean her up a little bit. We'll be right back. Sweetheart.
So all of these are red kangaroos, but the difference that you see has to do with the male hormone-driven traits. Okay. And so when John comes back out here, explain more about that. But it's the males that get more red. Okay. The females are the ones that stay that blue-gray. Okay. So cute. And they're definitely a lot softer than you would think, right? Yeah. And as soon as they get the bottles, they will be your best friend. They want to come up and take the bottle. Right, Brian?
Is that how you say you're hungry? I didn't know that they made a sound.
There's the little guy. He just hopped out over there. They're kind of similar with rabbits because they love to chew on stuff. Like if they don't have sticks out there in their area, they will just chew on their clover. So kind of similar in that aspect.
So you stream footage like a daily stream?
Yep. A lot of the encounters that we do, like the sloths, the kangaroos, the camels, that way, a lot of our guests that are watching who have already been here or thinking about coming here, that way they can kind of see what it's like.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to be able to do.
Yeah.
How do you guys find that out?
I have a coworker that had a friend come here and share some pictures. Sounds like something
That's
I
awesome.
would like to do, so.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
I have lived here for 6 years. We started Airbnb 5 years ago. We're not doing Airbnb now. We use our own website. Airbnb is the easiest to buy. And to,
Choose.
yeah, I myself went to an encounter off of a cruise ship, and I don't talk about other places by name, so I thought it was great, wonderful, and lovely, and did find out for more than a year that those sloths have a lifespan of less than a month in captivity, because they just take them out of the rainforest, dump them in a bucket of bleach, pull the teeth out, and make it. And ours will live 50 years. We wanted there to be an ethical and appropriate place for people to interact with sloths, and ours only do 2 hours of encounters a day, only 2 people at a time, and they'll live 50 years.
Yeah.
So baby kangaroos, that's what we're here to see. So these guys are baby kangaroos. This one isn't named yet till we find out if the one out in the enclosure is a boy or a girl, so we can come up with a pair name for them. Those two are Ruby and Max. These are all red kangaroos, but the redness of a red kangaroo is a male hormone-driven trait. This one still has red on her from birth, just, you know, hormones in the pouch. And that one down there has no red left on her. He is a male, which will go on to be a breeder one day. Not here, but for someone else. And these guys, this one is 7 months and a couple of weeks old. Those two are right at 12 months old. So baby kangaroos, super unusual system of reproduction, gestation, the whole nine. A female kangaroo continually makes a chemical similar to pitocin, which is what you give to a human female to induce labor. You sit in that chair, the kangaroos will think you're about to feed them, and they'll be far more likely to just hop right to you. And but you don't have to sit; you can go wherever you want. You're welcome to walk around and pet these guys. They are entirely friendly, and but if you do sit in a chair, they are expecting a bottle. So, and they're going to get a bottle, but not wrong. So the female continually makes a chemical that is similar to pitocin, which is what you give to a human female to induce labor. Kangaroos make it all the time unless they are malnourished or dehydrated. When the baby kangaroo is born, it is 33 days gestational age at birth, and they crawl on their own up to their mother's pouch. They are 2 grams, size of a jelly bean at that point. They crawl on their own to their mother's pouch and latch onto a teat. They do not let go even once for somewhere between 70 and 90 days. And when they do let the whole time that they're latched on, mom is making something more similar to colostrum than milk. At that point, they call it a semi-embryonic state until they start to nurse and release, nurse and release. When they do start to nurse and release, it changes from making colostrum to making milk. The baby will remain in the pouch. The first time it'll stick its face out of the pouch is 6 months old. We do have one outside that's got its face out now. And they jump out of the pouch at 7 months old. If you're going to have friendly kangaroos like we have here, you absolutely must start bottle feeding them right at 7 months, because sometimes the mothers wean them immediately leaving the pouch, and if they do, you'll never get them onto a bottle, and it's not possible to have a friendly kangaroo without a bottle. The babies in the wild, they would go in and out of the pouch from 7 to 8 months. They'd be able to stick their face into nurse from 8 to 10 months, and after 10 months, sayonara on their own. The normal family group for kangaroos is 1 male, 50 females. So if you want to be the 1 male, 49 have got to go. That is the way they roll. And so that's why there's only 1 male here inside and 1 male outside. If they're neutered, the daddy male will leave them alone. If they're not neutered, it's not gonna happen. So that all sounds pretty normal. From there, it gets weird. So a kangaroo is a marsupial. Marsupials almost all have 2 pouches. Hey, sweetheart, come see us, baby. And the weirdness for a kangaroo is it is continuously pregnant for the rest of its life after its first baby, essentially. They have 2 uteruses, and between 2 uteruses and overlapping pregnancies, they will literally be pregnant every day of the rest of their life after their first baby. A very rare exception. When the baby is born at 2 days and comes up to the pouch and latches onto the teat, it doesn't have any muscles, so it can't, or it doesn't have any mouth muscles, it can't nurse itself. Mom is actively pumping milk into the baby's mouth. When the baby starts to nurse, the mom, which is continuously making pitocin, begins to make a different chemical that blocks the Pitocin. It's still making the Pitocin, but it has a second chemical that blocks the
We've
Pitocin.
got a baby here.
What's that?
It says we've got a baby here, we don't need to
Right.
make any more.
Exactly. A kangaroo is designed to birth as many babies as it can nourish and no more. And if a female kangaroo were to have a mantra, that mantra would be live to have more at all costs. Being pursued by a predator, ditch the baby, live to have more. Malnourished, dehydrated, ditch the baby, live to have more. So when the baby latches onto a teat, it starts to make a second chemical that blocks the Pitocin. But if the baby does not make it up in 2 days, it takes 2 days to build up enough Pitocin in the mother's system to induce labor. And after 2 days, if the baby hasn't made it to the pouch, fire two, birth in the second uterus. So every time it gives birth to one, it has 2 opportunities for one to make it to the pouch. Anytime the female has an open uterus, she's in heat. Birthing something the size of a jelly bean is not traumatic. They generally breed back the same day, or if not within a couple of days. That all sounds pretty normal still, but if the first baby does not make it or if the first baby did make it to the pouch and it puts the blocker on the Pitocin, what happens to the second baby, right? So what happens is embryonic diapause, freeze-frame in utero. It does not progress, it does not regress, it remains exactly the way it is from 33 days until forever. It can remain that way for days, weeks, months, or years. You're welcome to pet these guys, they're perfectly friendly. They can remain that way for days, weeks, months, or years. Just freeze-frame in utero. Grooming. The baby, what is she doing?
I don't know. Just trying to clean her up.
The other one.
Oh yeah.
I guess that one, you know, horses, if you scratch if one scratches the other one's withers, the other one starts to do this. And if they're not facing the same way, they'll like go like this in the air, like reciprocating. I wonder if that's what it's doing. I don't know. I haven't seen through that. But anyway, so days, weeks, months, or years. There are 2 things that will make the mother ready to deliver again. One, if for whatever reason it stops nursing the one that is currently nursing, these are 2 of your people on your farm too. If for whatever reason it stops nursing the one that is nursing, that takes the blocker off of the Pitocin, fire away, ready to birth another one. 2, if the mother literally becomes overweight, too high body fat content, that means it can nourish more because it's overweight. So we'll double up the production of the Pitocin to bypass the blocker, and then it will birth a second baby. Once 2 are both nursing, that doubles the amount of blocker. Can't possibly bypass 2 blockers. Can't possibly birth 3. If the mother has already shifted from colostrum to milk for the one baby, when the second one comes up due to being overweight, start over with colostrum with one teat, continue with milk with the other. That is the only animal I'm aware of that can make 2 different products with its 2 teeth at the same time. The kangaroos, though, are ultimate desert survivors. And I'm going to go make our bottles right now. You guys can walk around and pet those. I'll be right back.
Is there a way we can get pictures?
Yeah.
Yes, after we give them the bottles, I'm going to help you hold them and feed them. And I'm going to make a video with your phone while you feed bottles.
Okay.
And feel free to take as many as pictures and videos as you want right now. There's no limit or anything.
So you got to start them at 7 months, huh?
Yeah, pretty much as soon as they're not with mom, then they get bottle fed by us.
Get this little bitty baby.
And they groom each other.
Yes, and they just groom each other really, but occasionally they try to help out each other.
And the sound that baby was making, is that the sound that grown ones make, or is that?
Yeah, it's the
sound
same
that
kind of,
baby-
no, it's the same sound. The
It sounds
adult,
like coughing, but it's.
Yeah.
It's just their call, I guess.
it's like their little chirping sound.
Yeah.
That's one.
You're gonna talk about it?
No, I've never seen white llama before.
So that's Prince Ali. He's one of our dromedary camels, and then this is Humphrey, the backcountry camel. But when you guys do the farm tour, they'll let you guys know about all those.
Okay.
They're kind of. This is not normally where they would be. The adult camels would be in here. So he's kind of like, where are my buddies? Where are my buddies?
They're like adolescent.
Oh, they're only like a couple months old.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
they're babies.
Oh yeah.
This is the nursery. Where's the nursery?
Like that color.
That's really cool.
It did look different than when I expected it to be more like rabbit fish.
They have to have those big, long legs.
Yeah, the ends all
And
over.
they, if you notice, they kind of sit on their tails, so balance. They have a cool tail. And
Yeah. So normally the adult ones are in
are
here.
in here, and that's not Ed.
Right. So there's normally Ed and Abu, but right now it's Prince Ali and Humphrey.
Free. That's a good name for a animal.
And there's llamas over here.
It is. That's the cute squad. There's llamas and some goats and some sheep.
Where's the baby?
Right there behind that.
Oh, she's hiding.
Yeah. She's like, is there anything over here? As soon as she sees that bottle.
Oh, she was eating hay.
Oh,
Do they
yeah.
eat hay too, or grass? I think?
They do, and especially if they were out in nature, you know, they would be on it. But that's part of the reason that we bottle feed them.
Do you think they like interacting with the people?
They do.
Yeah.
My daughter comes here a lot with me, and she's 8, and I've had her sit there and read to them.
Oh, really?
And they'll sit there and listen, you know, and try to chew on the book and everything else. But
They rough house together?
oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like she's like a toddler that would get into stuff that she's not supposed to get into.
They are definitely like toddlers. They are very. Can you close that? There's kangaroos running around. There's nobody in there yet, but there will be.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the 10 o'clock's here. Are there?
Oh, okay. Let me see what John wants to do. I'll come out there and grab him. Michaela's not in there, nor is John.
I wonder if their bird changes as they get older.
Not a sloth. Do you have food? Do you have? Everybody,
What did he say?
I'm gonna go grab him. I just want to see what their name is.
So that seems like they
Are they just in the food line?
Yeah, so you're gonna take care of it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Do I tell them to come over?
I'm gonna go out there and get him. Just so I want to make sure.
Yeah.
This is Ruby. She's very talkative, normally wins.
It's like, can I escape? That's what it's
So
thinking.
interested in being deaf because, there's not much to do.
You're not sure. You wanna go back in your pouch?
then come on in here. And you can close that door behind y'all. This is Flash. I'm gonna chop up this food just a little bit more. So he is a two-toed or two-finger Linnaeus sloth. And I'm not talking as loud as I once was because he's a sloth and he likes it to be kind of quiet, so I try not to shout. But John's loud, so when he comes in to finish talking with you guys, he'll be loud. So the basic rules are when you feed him, don't put your fingers in his mouth, not rocket science there. And sometimes he's a little picky on what he wants to eat. So that's pretty much how it's gonna go, like that. I'm gonna move these chairs kind of out of your way. And there you go. Feed away. I will tell you guys all about the sloths. Feel free to hang out over there with her. And you can feed also. When you're petting Flash, just keep it on his back. Don't go to his belly. And if he doesn't like one kind of veggie, just switch him to another one. So what you're feeding him is zucchini, squash, sweet potato, and green beans. How'd you guys find out about it?
TikTok.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I just like to see what works, you know.
That was back in like October.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, we booked it way back.
Yeah.
We stayed out here since Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
In the wagons?
Yep.
Nice. We just went over to Charlotte and then camped over by the NFC coming back, and I'm like, this is hilarious. And I'm camping an hour away when I could sleep in the
Right.
Yeah, we're about 6 hours away.
Oh wow, where at?
Asheboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, so seriously, I just went up there to the
The
zoo.
zoo, yeah.
Yes, we live like 10
We
minutes.
live 10 minutes from the zoo. We get season passes every year. We go over there 4 or 5 times.
My girlfriend's a therapist, so she had to go to Charlotte for this thing, and so like we did stuff on the way, and then we were in Charlotte, and I looked, and I was like, this place looks cool. And so we went there, but it was 100 degrees.
Oh, I know it's always hot.
And there was nobody there.
Yeah.
We lucked out and got to feed the giraffes for like 20 or 30 minutes though, because nobody else was there.
The animals were probably
The,
lazy too. You probably didn't see many.
No, there were
Yeah.
a bunch that were gone.
Asia, it won't be long before it's open. Are they open
I
yet?
think it's 2026.
Yeah, that's
So
what
they've been
working.
working on it pretty hard.
It looks cool though. I was like, they have no shortage of money. I was like, whoever's playing games over here is.
Yeah, for the longest time, there was talks about a possible Six Flags, 'cause they got a lot of land over there that they
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
used. But it does good, man. There's always people in and out of there.
It's super cool. I like how it's laid out and it's still shaded when you're walking around.
Yeah.
You're not feeling like you're gonna melt.
I started at 14 working there.
Oh,
One of
okay.
the restaurants, because they used to hire 14-year-olds.
I think it's about, if you walk it all, it's about 6 miles, 'cause we've done it several times.
Yeah. That's cool. So Flash is 7 years old. He came to us from another facility in Ohio where he was always behind a window, so he was never even fed or petted or interacted with. So it took about 2 years of just feeding him every day at 10 a.m. to get him ready for this.
Yeah.
So in the wild, they would typically have between 100 to 200 bugs living all over them. And the reason they have so many bugs is they only use the bathroom every 7 to 10 days. And when they use the bathroom, they come down out of the tree and they do like this little potty dance, right? And when they do that dance, they get their butt right on the ground, and the sloth moth crawls up and lives on them. So they would be covered in algae and bacteria and bugs out in the wild. So a lot of times people are like, man, I want to see one in the wild. And I was like, first of all, they barely even move. You're barely going to see them.
Yeah.
And then they don't want anything to do with you in the wild, just like a regular wild animal. And when they use the bathroom, they lose 30% of their body weight. So imagine like if you're 200 pounds, losing 60. So it's a pretty big jump. And he's been
Cool,
out.
they just eat upside down.
pay them or anything. That's just him grooming it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm filming.
And you guys are feel free to take as many pictures and videos and everything.
Yeah. Take a picture.
Sometimes people forget.
I do. I won't even worry about a picture.
Now that we got the mural in here, it looks a lot better. Before I was like, it looks like we went and stumped some weird animal and put it in a meth lab. I was like,
Yeah.
we'd have people watching those TikToks like back in the fall, and they were like, people really asked, they're like, why do you have this animal in your trailer? And I'm like, no, I was like, it's a whole farm. I'm like, go to the website.
Yeah, this is an awesome place, man. We really enjoy it.
Yeah.
We got 4 kids, so we'll be back
Yeah,
probably
awesome.
next summer. Bring
Yeah.
the kids with us.
Yeah, this is the first vacation we've had kid-free in a long time.
Oh,
so.
I hear you. Float that this lower Kobe with them.
Yeah,
That's super
That's
fun.
what we got in it and swam Saturday, and we see people coming by all the time, man, rafts and
And then, like, if you wanted just something a little bit more, but not like the Akoi, you can go up to the Hiwassee,
yeah.
and you can self-guide, and they'll shuttle you up, and you can get duckies and stuff. It's really fun. Like, I've been taking my little girl up there since she was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, we're gonna plan to make a week out of it probably.
Try to bring some family, fill up all those wagons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were always talking. We're trying to brainstorm about different lodging and stuff, and I was like, I kind of feel like it'd be kind of cool if they were set up like in a ring or like an arch style. Be like, oh, like the wagon train, you know, and then have some different ones.
Well, somebody was picking on us because I posted pictures on Facebook and they said, have fun at the Oregon Trail.
Once you get in them, they're I think they're a lot bigger. That's what I try to show them the videos. I'm like, dude, there's
They
AC
are, yeah.
and
It's
there's
nice,
plenty of
man.
room. I was like, it's an RV that looks like a wagon.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, even if you brought your 2 kids in that welcome wagon,
Oh yeah.
you're going to be outside most of the time anyway. So.
Mhm. The Wi-Fi work all right down there?
We didn't even connect
didn't.
in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we haven't been on our phones.
No, we tried to stay off of them.
You guys have done good then.
Yeah.
I turned it on for one guy and he goes, I'm just gonna get on and send work an email and tell him I ain't coming back. So sloths in the wild typically only live to 20 to 30 years. And that's because of loss of environment or reaching out and touching power poles, power lines, things like that. But in captivity, 2 sloths that lived the longest were Jan and Paula, and they were in Germany, and they made it to 52 and 54. So we're pretty stoked that Flash will probably outlive us.
Yeah. Did you take a picture of it?
Yeah, I took several pictures.
And his enclosure is right here, and it's 2 stories and goes all the way up. So if you're staying, the armadillo might be running around.
Yeah, this is cute.
So if you're staying upstairs, you get a sloth for a roommate. So there's like a big glass window up there. Upstairs it has 3 master suites and then 2 hidden bunk rooms. And the hidden bunk rooms are set up like Chronicles of Narnia. So you open up a wardrobe to get into them. So like if you have 10 people, it's a really good deal.
Yeah.
If you only have like 2 to 4, it's a little expensive. But with a full setup of people, it's good because there's like a game room, there's an Oculus, then there's a separate one, there's Pac-Man. It's a pretty sweet setup.
It's about 40 minutes from the Ark, I think.
The only thing I like more about the wagon is that you can see the river.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hadn't been to downtown Charlotte in forever, and that's where we stayed. And I was like, it is busy all the time.
Oh, you're in Charlotte, yeah.
I was
It's wide
like,
open,
this
man.
is crazy.
Only time, well, last time we went was for Morgan Wallen concert.
Oh yeah.
We don't go over to Charlotte much.
My kids go on a field trip up to the Speedway.
And
but
Raleigh's about the exact opposite. It's more.
It's more chill.
Yeah, more high end too. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of money over in Raleigh.
Alright, y'all. They are starting the farm tour up there, so go up to the other barn, and they're starting up.
I wear flash poses sometimes. He's like, so you want me to hang like this and turn my head?
I'm ready to.
That's so
Zoe.
chill, man.
Zoe's the one I'll be holding, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
They're so chill.
So they also have the ability to slow their metabolism down to only 300 calories per day. So they don't hibernate and they don't go into torpor, but they can slow their metabolism down to 300 calories per day.
Is that not the sweetest?
The little kangaroo.
He is pretty cute. Alright, what did you guys already talk about?
We talked about when they use the bathroom, how much weight they lose, the oldest ones, how to pet them correctly, that you've had them for 2 years.
That we what? 2 years?
Or that it took 2 years of feeding
Oh,
him.
yeah.
To get it.
Yeah, he's been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
Good schedule.
Yeah. So, everybody knows that sloths are slow, but sloths are slow in ways that may not even have occurred to you that a sloth could be slow. Did he want any breakfast?
They fed him some, yep.
He didn't really
He's-
finish it off though, huh?
Uh-uh.
We'll give him some special treat food here in a minute, as long as you're comfortable with the sloth licking your fingers. You good with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So sloths are slow primarily because of their diet. So in the rainforest, they are eating about 90% leaf material. Here they eat about 75% leaf material. So leaves are extremely low in caloric content, very low in nutritional value. So the sloth is working on an extremely limited energy budget. So low in fact that a sloth cannot maintain its body temperature. The core body temperature of a sloth is whatever the outside air temperature is. In the rainforest, daytime high is in the upper 80s, nighttime low is in the low 70s. His core body temperature can change by 19 degrees Fahrenheit from day to night. So for a human, that would be me dropping from 98.6 down to 79.6. So the coroner may take interest in that information, but no one else. The sloth also can only make milk for its babies for, depending whose study you believe, somewhere between 2 and 5 weeks, and that is all. Most mammals produce, store, deliver food for their babies. The sloth has no storage. It produces and delivers at the same time. So as the baby nurses the milk, the sloth is drinking the milk drop by drop as the mother eats it. The San Diego Zoo, by their study, they say that it's gender dependent, that a sloth, a male baby sloth eats milk from its mother for 15 days and a female for 26 days, I think they said. Anyway, you slice it though, really slow, really short time. The babies are born fully functioning, hair, teeth, and eyeballs, claws ready to roll. They eat milk exclusively for 3 days and they're on solid food by day 3 combined with milk. The sloth will stay with its mother, in the case of a 2-fingered sloth, for about 4 to 6 months. A 3-fingered sloth, generally they say a year, it could be even 2 years, that a 3-fingered sloth stays with its babies. Taxonomically, these are still called 2-toed, 3-toed, but 2-fingered, 3-fingered makes a little more sense because they all have 3 on the back feet, like this right here. And the 2-fingered have 2 on the front, the 3-fingered have 3 on the front. They are quite different animals, the 2-fingered and 3-fingered sloths, at least from a skeletal standpoint. And I will show you a Google of a sloth skeleton here. This is a reload. This is a 2-fingered sloth, which is what we're looking at. He's got only 5 vertebrae in the cervical spine, between the skull and the shoulders. He's got no tail. The 3-fingered sloth has 9 vertebrae in the cervical spine, between skull and shoulders, and 3 vertebrae of a tail. The 3-fingered has far fewer ribs and is much more slightly built than the 2-fingered. 3-fingered has arms longer than body, legs much shorter than body. The 2-fingered though, the 2-fingered has arms longer than body, legs longer than arms. the two-fingered. When you look at this dude, if you found a skeleton of one of these in the rainforest, you would be saying top of the food chain for sure. Observe the size of the teeth when he doesn't have fleshy material over him, and his claws look exactly like they do right here. And this guy has got 46 ribs, 23 sets of ribs, so he is absolutely built to take it. So if you found a skeleton of one of these, you would be saying top of the food chain. He is running around the rainforest laying waste to everything in sight. You would not be saying slow, peaceful animal that's going to hide for his whole life. When he is in the tops of the trees, he's safe from predators. Generally speaking, I just said the P word. That's going to get me banned. When he's in the top of the rainforest, he is generally safe from things that are after him. And the reason for that is that the sloth is... Oh, he had those both. So the sloth has no scent. He has no musk gland, scent gland, sweat gland, none of that. So a snake hunts by sense of smell and by temperature difference. You can actually see temperature. And so a snake literally cannot find a sloth. If it found a sloth, it'd be just pure dumb luck. Yeah. And the cat can't get to the sloth. The sloth has a structure to his eyes called rod monochromacy. So if you've seen the movies where they've got like the military guys running around with the night vision goggles on and they give you their POV, you'll see just blobs running around in front of them, like light colored blobs on the background. That's the way that a sloth sees. So he doesn't see objects well at all. He can't see the difference between me and either one of you. But he does see motion exceptionally well. So when the sloth sees motion, it's end of the branch, get to the end of the branch, and then when he gets to the end of the branch, it's like down under him, and he only weighs 15 pounds. So the cat that's going to come along the top of the branch at him like this, when he gets to the end, you know, what's he going to do? And yeah. And if the cat should press the issue to the point that the branch broke and they both fell all the way to the floor of the rainforest, 100 feet down, the sloth will almost certainly survive, and the cat will almost certainly not. And the sloth will just look over at the cat and say, ha, ha, and back up the tree he goes. And the cat will not be returning to the canopy of the rainforest. So the only animal that can get to it in the top of the rainforest is a harpy eagle. They're huge. They don't rely on smell. They don't rely on the branch to support them. A harpy eagle can get to a sloth at the top of the rainforest. So his defense against the harpy eagle is being covered up by moss and algae. More moss, more algae, more disguise from harpy eagles. And that is why the sloth comes all the way down the tree, same side of the tree, to go to the bathroom in the exact same place that he always goes. So the reason he comes down is the sloth-moth symbiotic relationship. So symbiotic meaning beneficial to both sides of the equation, where parasitic would be beneficial to one, neutral or harmful to the other. But it is symbiotic. In the wild, a sloth has 100 to 150 moths living in its fur all of the time. Not here, praise the Lord. The nature of that symbiosis is that as the sloth comes down the tree to go to the bathroom, and he's going to eliminate 1/3 of his total body mass in 2 or 3 minutes when he goes to the bathroom. He only goes once in a week or 10 days, 3 or 4 times a month. When he comes down the tree, the moths all fly down into the waste pile, all lay their eggs, and get back to the sloth as fast as they can, because he's going 100 feet back up and they don't want to miss the ride. So when they get down into the waste pile and lay their eggs, this week's eggs or next week's larvae are the following week's moths. So every time that the sloth comes down the tree, there are more moths to fly up onto the sloth. The moths will live their whole life on the sloth. The benefit to the moths is that the sloth is the food source and the living environment of the moths. As the moths live in the sloth's fur, they are feeding on the moss and algae that are all in the sloth's fur, and they're fertilizing the same via their waste. So more moss, more algae, more disguise from eagles. The only reasons that the moths will leave the sloth in their life is to fly to the leaves that pool up water in the top and to get into the waste pile to lay their eggs. Other than that, they will live their whole life on the sloth. The benefit to the sloth is that first, as the sloth grooms himself, he licks up a certain amount of the moths themselves. That is the sloth's protein source. Second, we already talked about more disguise from harpy eagles because they're fertilizing the moss and algae in his fur. And third, as the sloth grooms himself, he will lick up a certain amount of the waste of the moths. And that is the most critically important thing for the sloth. As he licks up some of the waste of the moths is where the sloth gets his bacteria colony that makes him digest his food. In the wild, without the moths, the sloth cannot survive. It is a proven fact that if the sloth's moth colony expires, so will the sloth. Now in captivity, he does not need the moths. And the reason for that is here, nothing's hunting him, so he doesn't require the disguise. Nothing, and he doesn't require the protein. See, he already smells that.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Yeah, his sense of vision is horrible. His sense of smell is on point. All right, so as you feed this guy, what you want to do is just take a little bit in your hand at a time like this, and he's going to reach out and he's going to grab a hold of your hand and pull it to his mouth. And if you hold it down here, he'll come down. And 1 second here. Hey, Bubble, you want a treat? And then once he's down, you can stand approximately this close to him to take your pictures with a sloth. If you want to do it at the same time, I'm happy to take your pictures for you. And you can take turns giving him that whole dish right there. He'll eat all of it. And he is not looking to bite you, but he is going to lick every one of your fingers. All right, so where was I? In captivity, he doesn't need the protein, he doesn't need the disguise. The surprising thing is neither does he need the probiotic benefit. So we also have helpful gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria will last throughout our lives unless we take a lot of antibiotics. If we take a lot of antibiotics, we need some probiotics or we need some Greek yogurt to fix our gut health back up, right? The sloth in captivity does not need to worry about his gut health because what interrupts a sloth's gut bacteria colony is cold temperature. So in captivity, we do not let a sloth get cold, not for any reason. And as long as the sloth doesn't ever get cold, he doesn't ever have to replace his gut bacteria. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
It's disgraceful that they have this in an apartment or a house. All right.
It looks like stir-fry.
It does, don't it? Like that again, you know that?
People on
This side.
Okay, good. Or you could just answer him. He's not in an apartment and he's not from an apartment. Whatever you want to do, I don't care.
It's strong they are. I like that all the time.
So the sloth doesn't require replacement bacteria in captivity because he doesn't ever get cold. Stepping out to talk to Kevin, we have a keyboard warrior that thinks the sloth lives in this little tiny room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People are all brave with their comments
all the time.
when they're not in person. They can't see that he's got this whole huge thing in here. And they won't be on long enough to know because they don't really have any interest. They just want to,
Yeah.
you know, spew some hate and go on. See the way his hips are facing the opposite way than his shoulders? That is the way a two-fingered sloth rotates his body. A three-fingered sloth has 9 vertebrae in the cervical spine, and they rotate between the head and the shoulders, not so much from the body.
Yeah, he was talking to us about this condo. We'll probably, when we come next summer, we'll have to book it. I seen, do y'all block off? Cause when I looked, like July, everywhere, it's blocked off.
No, you can only book 1 year out.
Okay, that's what I.
So when it gets to 1 year before the start, I think it blocks by the start date, not the end date. So if you know what particular day you want to book, just look when it gets to be that date. Or you might be able to email Donna and get her to open your dates early. I'm not certain on that.
Okay.
But generally speaking, it's set to open 1 year out.
Yeah, okay. I think we'll do this instead of the beach next year with the kids.
We've had a number of kids that stay upstairs that say it's better than Disney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like lines, so for me it definitely is.
I think the kids will love it.
Oh,
I can't stand crowds, I can't stand lines. Here
Now,
in,
if we book, like, feedings, can the kids just do it, or like, do we have to purchase it too, like?
if they're under 13, there has to be at least one participating adult, not per child, but per the group.
Okay.
It's a child care thing.
Yeah.
We're not licensed for child care.
Yeah, we
Or
love camps.
camps. Say what?
He was reaching out for more.
Oh, yeah. So whenever I'm on a live, I do a disclaimer. I say, please don't look at what we're doing here and think it's a good idea to go out and buy yourself a sloth. It is absolutely not. Our sloths are captive bred for many generations. The guy who breeds these is a doctor, veterinary Benton, who's been doing it for more than 30 years. And his generation 0 animals were animals that could not be returned to the rainforest due to injury. So there is no animal here that either they or their ancestor was ever taken from the rainforest. And this is the difference between a house cat and a feral cat. If you have a house cat, it will sit in your lap and purr while you pet it. If you tried to do the same with a feral cat, it would go poorly both for you and for the cat. And there are many sloth encounters out there that do use wild sloths. We do not. All of our sloths are captive bred for many generations. Generationally, these guys are further removed from the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. I mean, from the rainforest than I am from the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. And if you find a sloth that is for sale on the internet, you are participating in the trade of wild animals. It's not illegal, it's reprehensible, but not illegal. But please don't do that. And if you're going to a sloth encounter, please look before you book. Places that book their sloths all day, every day, that is the love of money, not the love of sloths. Our sloths only do 1 or 2 hours of encounters per day.
Yeah.
The ones that have 2 hours of encounters have 1 in the AM, 1 in the PM with a 3-hour break in between. And our sloths here are likely to live 50 years, and they are treasured family pets, not just income animals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab the other tripod, the second cruise here.
Okay, and we are going on to see Zoe.
I'm gonna raise my hands, okay?
Yep, that's good. And when you see Zoe, you're going to see that when I was talking about actively seek human attention, I'll show you what we mean by actively seek human attention. Good morning, Zoe. Hey, baby girl. Good morning, baby. Do you want to see us?
You have the trash can.
Right outside of the door.
Nope. Didn't know where we were going, sorry.
Talking to them about what it means to actively seek human attention. These guys like what they do, not are forced to do what they do.
Let's see. So let's move this one over here.
All right, baby.
I told the dad which one we were gonna be on so they could watch his daughter and wife. That's the reason I'm like, which one is it?
Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweetheart. Oh, come here. Good girl. Good girl. Thought he was bailing on us.
No,
He was like, I'm
That
done.
is lost, that's
I
unusual.
stole the paper towel.
Alright, so while you're holding this girl, the clamp down like this is the relaxed state of a sloth. If she holds on too tightly to you, just tap her foot like this. Face it that way. Just tap her foot like this, and she'll release right away.
Okay.
She just has to remember not to grab you. And she is a petting sloth. She likes to be petted a very specific way. That is slow down the backside like this. Even when she lays upside down in your arm like this, which she's very likely to, if you touch her belly side, she'll be like, don't touch my belly. So only the backside. She likes to be petted on the back. We transfer her on the snuggie. Say night-night. See the way she goes straight across there. You sit in that blue chair. Here you go. All right. And at the end, don't send him back up. We're going to switch rooms.
Okay.
All right, so it is her breakfast time. Sir, you might want to give her the breakfast. Or if you're more interested in taking them, let me see if I have a third tripod. You can use your tripod. I mean, your camera on our tripod. Do we have a third tripod? I think we might. Okay, I'll be your tripod.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Come on in. This is Flash. He is one of our two-toed Linnaeus sloths, and you can walk all the way in. He's not going to reach out and grab you. He moves not fast. And so we're going to take this food right here. And sometimes he's excited about eating, and sometimes he's not. Hey, he's fine. Oh, he got fed some rice earlier. So we'll do a little bit of rice too. So where are you guys from?
We live in White Pine, Tennessee.
Okay, cool. Where's that?
East Tennessee,
Okay, gotcha.
about 45 minutes east of Knoxville.
Oh, beautiful up there.
Oh, yes.
Is that almost like Kingsport?
Almost, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think maybe 45 minutes
Gotcha.
or so from Kingsport. Oh.
Yeah.
It is.
So if we want, you can give him just a little bit of this. You can hold it out like that, and he'll lean down. Here, let's see if we can get him started. Hey, move back here, bud. And then if you want to have your phone ready, it's right here, bud. You just gotta lean down.
Zoe is, her birthday is December 18th, so she is.
He is picky this morning. So we'll give it just a minute while you guys, but you feel free to pet him. You can run your hands right through here. So he is 7 years old. It took John 2 years of even feeding him at 10 a.m. in the morning to even get him to come down. They sleep 15 to 20 hours a day, and they only eat 10% of their body weight every day. So he weighs 15 pounds. So that means every day he's eating like 1.5 pounds of lettuce, veggies, sweet potatoes, squash, and then they use the bathroom every 7 to 10 days. When they use the bathroom, they lose 30% of their body weight.
Wow.
So imagine if you weighed 200 pounds, losing 60, kind of crazy. In the jungle, when he does that, he comes down out of the tree and he gets his butt right on his pile of stuff, basically, right? And the sloth moth lives inside of that pile. So when the sloth moth crawls up on him, when he grooms himself, he gets the bacteria that's on his fur and he ingests that. And so that's how he processed his food. So if he didn't have that relationship with that sloth, he would die. And so even here, like if his food gets like too runny or too hard, we have to kind of change his diet by adding more probiotics, or even doing a fecal transfer. Really don't ever want to do any of those things, but it's really important to make sure that basically his stool cycle is really, really healthy. Because you can have a sloth die with completely full stomach, but no way to process the food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Go for it.
Is there a sloth?
Yeah, I think they're way softer than you would think, right?
Yeah, they look like it'd be wiry.
I always say it's right in between beard hair and regular hair.
It is.
My girlfriend and my daughter say it's like troll doll hair.
That's inaccurate.
They're like, that's exactly what it's like, is troll doll hair.
How long do they typically live?
So in the wild, they're gonna live to 20 to 30 years, but there were 2 sloths in Germany, Jan and Paula, and they made it to 52 and 54.
Wow.
So we're pretty excited that the sloths will outlive us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how old is this one?
He's 7. Yeah. And so Zoe, who's right here, her birthday was December 16th, so she's only a year and a half old. And then we have Dash, and he's 8 months old. And Dash is only like 3 pounds.
No, are they rescues? Is that how? Okay.
So Flash came to us from basically kind of like a zoo where he was always just behind a glass window, so he was never interacted with like this.
Yeah.
So it took 2 years of feeding him every day to be like, hey, people are cool.
Yeah.
Zoe and Dash both came to us from an expert veterinarian and a person who works with sloths and has been working with sloths for 30 years. So his first sloth 30 years ago was a sloth that was injured and couldn't go back. And so he's been breeding them, right? And so he only deals with zoos, and so we're licensed as a zoo.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can call him and be like, I just want a pet sloth. And he's like, no. And kind of his whole reasoning for raising and breeding the sloths is the same idea as like the white rhino. So if people hadn't been breeding the white rhino in captivity, we would have none because they got hunted to extinction. And the reason places like Costa Rica have made it illegal to hold sloths is what happens is people that are like economically pressed or they can't get a job or whatever, they look in and they see all the cruise boats coming in and they're like, I can run to the jungle, grab a sloth, and what they do is they dip it in bleach to kill everything that's on it. Because nobody would want to hold the sloth because it's mad, because it just got yanked out of the tree, it's covered in bugs, so they dip it in bleach. Sometimes they pull their teeth, and then they only typically live like a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and so Costa Rica's just been like, nope, illegal to hold any sloth.
Yeah.
And we still work with them, like we do the fallow bracelets to help with tracking and things like that. But it's kind of hard for them because they're like, no, don't hold sloths. We're like, we agree with you, but those are wild sloths. Like, don't hold wild sloths.
Yeah.
He might take a bite now or a picture or something. If he's doing that, he usually is like kind of interested in something. Try green bean or rice.
This? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do I just hold it then?
Yep. Yep. Just right to his mouth. Alright, try a different one. He didn't want that one.
Does he like carrots?
Yeah, sometimes, and that's a sweet potato, but that's alright. Yeah, you know, you can try to feed it to him. Sometimes you have to be like, hey, Flash. Here you go. Let's see if I can get him going. Hey, Flash. Look. He's a sweet potato. They spoiled you with that rice, didn't they? Let's see if we can get him going. Hey, Flash. It's the rice. He's full.
He's a lot bigger than I expected.
Oh yeah, and I think he moves a lot quicker than most people think. Like a lot of people are like, oh, they move slow. I'm like, not really. So they have horrible vision. They have monochromacy, which means that they only see in black and white. And they see in a very narrow field of vision too. So like if you put your hands up over your eyes like a scope, that's how narrow they see. Yeah. So a lot of times when he's kind of like reaching out and things like that, people are like, oh, he wants me. Well, he just can't really see what's going on. And he's like, do you have food? Yeah. A lot of times I'll feed Zoe up underneath him.
Look how tiny his pupils are.
Exactly, yep.
Wow.
And he just tries to comb my hair, which is hilarious.
Now, do they make any noises or anything like that? Other than the little, it sounds like he's gritting his teeth or something.
His is just really the teeth. Now Zoe, she will actually make sounds. She'll go like, oof, oof. And like, it's because she doesn't want to get sit down. And she'll actively kind of chase you out of the room because she wants to get back up on you. One time I was messing with this camera, like trying to set it up, and I was like, oh, I have enough time to get this done before she gets to me. Nope, she climbed up on my back, so we had the world's slowest wrestling match. It was pretty funny. What you think?
Remember that little different that I had?
Mm-mm.
Oh, here it is. You can let them do some rice this morning.
We tried a little bit of rice in that thing, and Flash was,
Oh, if you let him lick it out of your hand, he likes it. Are you guys okay with him licking your fingers?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna come down and he's gonna grab your hand like that and pull it to his mouth, and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, give me some of that. Here you go.
What's your name
I came to get some more breakfast for Zoe. She's in there like, give me some more breakfast.
feed me, Seymour. So he's averse to the aluminum bowls.
Got all green beans in that one. That's not her groove.
Let me get some more of these
potatoes here.
There you go. Put some more in there for you. Mom, you want to feed him?
Yeah.
I'll get you a napkin. Don't worry, you don't have to take that home with you.
I love how he holds your hand.
You're welcome. Yeah, he's like, don't move that. It's okay to spill. It's all good.
Now, are they more nocturnal or daytime or
Well, they sleep 15, 20 hours a day.
like a cat?
Yeah, so it's kind of like he gets up for a little bit all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Their main defense is being quiet. Their big predators are like the harpy eagle, jaguars, and they're also going to fall out of the trees about once a week just on their own.
Yeah.
And that's because they're going for like the freshest leaves or at the end of the branches, right? But what's really cool is that they have 46 ribs, 2 sets of 23, and all of their internal organs are attached to each other and to their ribs. So when they have that huge fall out of the trees, they're going to survive the fall because, like, you know, when we get in the car wreck, it's that secondary impact.
Yeah.
So they don't get that. They're kind of built like a tank. Pretty cool.
That little armadillo just keeps running
I
back and
know,
forth.
it's cute.
His
Did you guys
name is...
catch that one here?
No. That is Baku. He's a 3-banded armadillo, and the reason that he is here is he is in the family of Zothoran, which would be the sloth, the 3-banded armadillo, and the giant anteater. So they all have the ability to ball themselves up.
Really? Do you have some more? Where's some more?
The ones that we have up here, the armadillos, are 7, 8, 9 banded, and they have that tail,
Yeah.
and so they don't have the ability to curl themselves all the way up in a ball.
Ah. I think they're starting to see them in East Tennessee now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
But we have family in Murfreesboro and Middle Tennessee, so we see them down there a lot more. It
Yep.
seems like. I wonder if he can see them.
Yeah,
So cute.
he makes sure.
You want to feed a handful after her?
Okay. Look at that. Maybe a couple of them.
Here's a napkin for you. Alright, here's the messiest part of the day, sorry.
And we got an Xbox encounter with all 3 of us at 11:30.
Oh,
too,
awesome,
so
yeah.
we're actually on our way back from Murfreesboro. We went down there to get her from my sister's house. And I was like, hey, on our way home, let's like try to set up a thing at the river place.
Yeah. Breaks up the drive.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like put my phone in his face. I don't want him to like get scared.
Oh, he won't get scared. People get all up in his face with phones.
Now, do they ever shed their claws and have to grow new ones?
Mm-mm. They just wear them down. Kind of like the same thing as like dogs.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that we have live bark on all these trees, is that way he can wear it down, because if not, we'd have him be taking Dremels and stuff, which would not be fun.
Kind of like a chinchilla with their teeth.
Yeah. Which is funny that you say that, because the chinchilla from here is at our house right now.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot in the barn. And I have an 8-year-old daughter, and it's hilarious because that thing, you know, they run all over and then those balls.
They're so cute.
Yeah. And
My sister had one for a little bit.
the dust bath, I think, is the cutest thing
It
ever when you
is.
just spin around.
Haley has that for her, what's it called? Not, they're like guinea pig things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, they're not guinea pigs. They're like, rat guinea pigs, I forgot what they're called.
Yeah, my sister was a school teacher, and so she wanted a chinchilla as a classroom pet.
Mm-hmm.
And she had it in her house, wasn't thinking, and she had his cage pushed up against the wall, and he gnawed through her wall.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, oh no!
And they're active at night. In the middle of the night, I'm like, what is that thing doing?
Can you get some more of that? Really nice in now? Right? I think he just likes that one in your hand.
Was he hand fed the most when y'all first got him?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. It's because of that rice. That's why he loves it. But we're trying to get him to gain a little bit of weight, so that's why we're like, well, if he wants to eat that, let's eat it.
Right?
You know, like when you have the kid, you're like, okay, you really need to eat this, then finally you're like, just eat something.
Just want to drink something.
Yeah.
How old's the little baby kangaroo?
Only like 6 months old.
Yeah.
Just came out of the pouch like probably 2 or 3 days ago. And we have one of ours still in the pouch.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of hoping that she comes out soon and we name them together as a pair, because this one doesn't even have a name yet.
Aww.
But we're,
Kangaroos ever try to fight you guys?
yeah, they do. A male kangaroo is very, very dominant, and like he doesn't want anybody around, especially when there's new ladies that just came out. And so seriously, sometimes like we don't go in the enclosures because one good kick from a male kangaroo would break a femur.
Yeah.
And some people like, they ask, they're like, yeah, go box. I'm like, no.
You know how strong their tails are?
Yeah.
Just hold their body up.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Okay. One more? One more? You got some skill being upside down like that.
He
sir.
does. And I think the way he like holds himself at that angle.
Yeah. Especially all twisted.
Uh-huh. So the difference between them and like the 2 and 3-toed is that 3-toed, they're gonna rotate just their neck more, and they'll have kind of the remnants of a little bit of a tail, so they have like 3 or 4 vertebrae. And those are the ones that you see that kind of have that perpetual smile. But the reason that we don't have the 3-fingered here is because they really need to eat the leaves of the sarcopia tree, and the sarcopia tree does not natively grow in North America. They're working on growing some groves of them, but it's going to be a little bit.
That's why his nose and nostrils are so big, so he can smell so well.
And what's really funny is he kind of sometimes wedges it in his nose, right? And then when he goes to pick his nose with his giant claws, it looks hilarious. And Zoe does the same thing. I'm like, you guys are going to poke your nose
Right?
out.
It's like, how do you not claw yourself? Oh, cute. He took your mom's.
He's like, yeah, so it's gone, so You can try some of the regular veggies. Maybe he'll eat some of them now.
Oh, there's still that little bowl right there. You wanna try some of those?
He's probably gonna be like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can give him the rice, it's fine.
No. You're gonna feed him some more rice? Sure.
You guys can split it up, it's fine.
So how long have you guys been doing this here?
So he's been doing encounters for 2 years. And I've been here about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Before I was here, you had to be staying here on the farm to do an encounter, and then wanted to open it up to more and more people, so came and helped him out with that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we found you just because I was on TikTok one night, and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Because she loves Sloth, her and her little best friend. I was like, hey, there's a Sloth place.
yeah.
Yeah.
And between all the different animals, it's like you would have to fly to 6 continents, you know?
Right. That's what I was looking on the dress. I was like, oh my gosh, they have so many animals there.
Yeah. The people that are in there, they live close to the Asheboro Zoo in North Carolina. And I was just there, and I was like, well, I want to do something. So I walked around that zoo, and it's huge. They have 1,600 animals.
Wow.
It's east of Charlotte, but it was 100 degrees. And so I was walking around there with my 8-year-old, and nobody else was there. So I was like, it's great because there were no lines, but I was like, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Were the animals active at all? They just kind of.
Some of them, like we had a really good experience with the giraffe. Like we managed to feed the giraffe for like 20 minutes because nobody else was there.
Nice.
But like a bunch of the other animals were like not there, like the lions and the elephants.
Still want it, so might as well give them food.
Show them how it's done, Flash.
Now, will you breed the two of them?
They won't be bred together because we're not as sure of his lineage.
Okay.
Like with Zoe's and Dash's, we know exactly, like all the history and everything. So no, Flash will not get bred. And that's not our goal here anyway. Like if that happens with, you know, Zoe and another male sloth, that would be fine. But that's not like a goal. And we would consult with the breeder and the sloth expert before we made any attempt at doing that. Like we talk probably like every other day. And we'll be getting a 4th sloth soon. Her name will probably be Chloe. So we'll have Chloe, Zoe, Flash, and Dash. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
Right. Makes you always think of that Zootopia movie.
Yeah, exactly. I like it when he's telling the jokes at the DMV.
So get to the punchline.
Yeah.
Gosh, he does have just like the tiniest little pinprick pupils.
Flash, you are going to town.
Right. How many encounters do you guys do with them a day?
So Flash only gets like 2 or 3 encounters, that's it. And Zoe gets like maybe 4 at the most, and Dash has about the same number, so not a lot.
Yeah.
Because it really is making sure that the animals are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very rare that all 3 sloths are booked at the same time. So that way if like a certain sloth isn't feeling it or whatever, then we can rotate to the other one.
Yeah.
And the show
Hold
that
on, I
they
think
did,
it's
I
right here.
changed from the engineering competition to just John and Yoshi. What's up?
I would like for vodka.
He's in Flash's room.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow up on that.
John and Yoshi. The show was so popular they did
Thanks. Yep.
several projects in a row.
This guy right here.
He's like, you opened that door. I thought we were about to go in there.
What is that?
So,
Now, do they room together or you keep them all separate?
so they're separate, and this is normally Flash's room, but I think we're gonna switch his rooms, and so that's the reason that I'm not letting him go in there,
Yeah.
because we're gonna switch his rooms because he was having a little bit of digestive issues, and so we're always just trying to make sure everything's okay. And if you guys want to wash your hands, you definitely can.
Do they have like a full set of teeth or just a few?
No. He has ginormous teeth.
I can see just on face of them.
Yeah, the canines are huge, and then they have the regular teeth too. But the canines are massive. Like they end up being like this long.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you guys do the VIP with Zoe too, or was it
No.
just Flash? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if there was enough time to do both.
Gotcha. Oh, because you're doing the Finnick at 11:30. Okay. Are you guys doing the farm tour today?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So we only had so much time to like
Yeah.
get back to all the
When you guys come back, do the farm tour. And another fun thing that we're getting ready to really put out there is we do regular hikes, but we're gonna be doing llama hikes, so you can go trekking with the llama, and then also like backcountry horse rides. So we'll trailer the horses to like the Cherokee National Forest right here. So a bunch of other cool rides to do. And you're still welcome to pet them and stuff.
He's looking at the tree. Hi, baby.
What other questions do you guys have about sloths?
Where exactly are like their ears? Or they just kind of have like.
So right, I'm not gonna touch this just because I'm mad, but right there. So it's just like,
Camouflage really well.
yeah, it's just like, think about us, like when we have long hair like over it, you can't see our ears, but they have great hearing. So because their vision is so horrible, they really rely on their sense of hearing. And so a lot of times, like people when they're holding Zoe or whatever, if someone slams the door really hard or keeps coming through there, she'll pull in really tight and be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, she's your tree, you know?
So about the only thing to really come after these guys, they're not really too prey on in the wild. And they usually live to about 12 years on
It's
average.
like, I'm thinking about going in there.
He is gonna go in there today. Just we see how that goes.
A lot more of a drastic difference. Yeah, not really.
Do they do okay when you have to like switch their environments a little bit?
So Flash doesn't really care anything about Zoe in terms of like being inquisitive. He's just like, I just want to see the new space.
Yeah.
She is like, I want to touch you. What is this? What's going on? And he's like, don't touch me. But the reason we're switching it is kind of for his gut health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Right, Flash?
Pretty quick.
He's like, they fed me that good stuff. You can try a sweet potato or any of these. You might go for it.
I'll let you guys feel them if you want.
Now, do the females tend to be a little more inquisitive than the males, or that just tends to be her personality?
And also because she was raised completely different than Flash.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to be held by somebody. Like, she is seeking human attention. And before Flash came here, he was never even interacted with. So it's just, you have two sloths that have totally different backgrounds.
All right, let's see what happens. Usually we're trying to stop him from going in here, but we're thinking of letting these two swap rooms. And we're gonna let Flash take a walk on in. And then we're gonna let Zoe check out the room next door. That's gonna be very different.
Oh wow, Willow. Look how tall that goes up there
Oh yeah, it goes
with the trees.
right on up.
He's like, sir, you opened the wrong door.
Hey Flash. What are the odds? Usually one of us has to stand here and like run interference so he doesn't come into the other room. Now we've got the door open. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Did you notice they shortened the branch up?
Yeah.
Opposition with defiance, you wanted to do it, so he's not gonna do it now.
Just hearing the words ODD gives me shudders.
That is hilarious.
You're part of my life for entirely too long.
Take some rice and start walking.
Well, no, I want it to be his idea.
Yeah.
And so if he doesn't go for it, that's fine.
Zoe gets some good munching in.
No, about how much
Yes.
does he weigh?
15 pounds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that means when he would lose that 30%, that he would lose like 4.5 pounds.
All right, baby. Come here, sweetheart. Oh, good girl. Let go. Don't forget to let go. Oh, my goodness. Flash, you want to go in there, buddy?
Oh, I didn't get
Oh, you're fine.
I'd like to watch him
Yeah.
on there too.
Sloths are not natural friends. They, in the wild, are solitary. If a female is in heat, she makes a D-sharp, high-pitched screaming sound. And whatever male is the fastest one to get there, that's her mate for this 2-year cycle.
Now, how big will she get? Around the same weight,
She
or-
is surprisingly large already.
Okay.
She is her full adult mass, but not her full maturity. So if you look at her claws and look at his claws, you'll see that she's nowhere near him. Her teeth are much, much smaller than his teeth, and her hair coat is quite a bit shorter than his hair coat. Sloths don't shed because they don't have the energy budget to be replacing perfectly good hair. What you doing there, Flash? And so all of their body processes are minimalist.
What are you gonna do, Flash?
Wanna come in here, Bob?
Oh, there we go.
Thinking about it.
We're just gonna have to see if her claws are big enough to grab the branches in his room. His branches are a lot bigger. Hey, come here, Flash.
So close yet so far.
Can we get some food?
Go where you want. You wanna climb, baby? Go ahead. There you go. Go climb.
She's like, no, no.
Actively seeks human attention.
I wonder if she'll try to climb towards him.
Oh, Snuggie.
She's about to get you.
No, it's not. No, it's not time.
That's sweet.
So we were supposed to have had our next sloth 1st of June, but the ambassador protocol is actively seeks human attention, genuinely enjoys human contact. And the next one didn't seem to actively seek human attention like this. So we took a pass on that one and waiting for the next one. But this one, when she sees people, she says, gotta have some people. But still, we only book her 2 hours a day because, and max of 2 people, because we don't want there to be any chance of a sloth getting into a stress situation, and they're not required to do anything. If for one, I mean, I couldn't climb up there and get him even if I wanted to. And if they don't come to us when it's encounter time, grab a different sloth. They are not required to do anything. Except eat my hat.
She really likes your hat.
Yeah.
She is very inquisitive.
Yeah. Like I said, this is the first playful sloth that I had.
Oh, he's. Come on, Flash.
Go for it again.
It's like watching your kid jump off a diving board.
You
Just
can
do
do
it.
it.
KB song. Not today, Satan. A lot of people don't know they have ears.
That's what I asked.
That's what she does.
Right there.
Oh.
That's why we didn't touch Flash's ears, because it would have been way worse than that.
That's why with Dash I sit every night and stroke his ears like this. And I stroke his feet like this.
Try to desensitize it.
Rub his belly like that. All the things that this one doesn't like. That's what I do with him the most.
And how old is Dash?
How old is Dash?
I think 8 months now.
Something like that. Well, I gotta get out to the farm tour, so
Yeah.
might have to do this afternoon or tomorrow.
Do you mean just leave it open and let him go in if he wants to and take her out?
Only if you're in the room so you
Okay.
can see what he does.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bud.
All right.
Enjoy.
I drove off the road last night, not wanting to shine the lights in y'all's face.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
As I was driving past last night, they were sitting down there at their campfire, and I was running back and forth to the bathhouse. I was like turning the lights off. I'm like, oh, please don't let me hit something. 'Cause I didn't want to shine my
I told
headlights
him, I
right
was
in
like,
somebody's
"Do you
face.
ever not work?" It was like 10 o'clock. It's time
Yeah,
to
she
go.
said he needs to go to bed. He needs to quit working tonight.
I was waiting for my wife to get home. She was delivering the kangaroos to their pet home. The neutered males make good pets, and in Tennessee it's legal to have a kangaroo for a pet.
Yeah.
So Tom and Jerry just went to Our Life Adventures, is going to be their new home.
Thought about it.
He can't make up his mind.
That is hilarious.
Will I or nil I? All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Alright, see you, bud.
Is she still in her hammock?
She slid over this way.
Yeah.
She's
Making her way this way.
Oh,
really well.
I shouldn't have talked.
There she is. Look.
Is it blue gray?
Where are you?
She's like, she heard my voice. No, we're not doing it. No, don't hold on to that door. Go back. She looks like a Sesame Street character or something, like sticking her head around the corner, you know? Let's see if I can get her playing. Or did she go back?
She's
No, she is.
Oh.
She's coming.
Oh no.
There she
Oh
comes.
no. She's smart.
So you're not close enough, come here.
On the door frame.
No, hey, you're not going over there with Flash.
Oh, my plan worked.
Come here.
Snuggle time.
Now how you gonna get down, Goofy? I got you. I got you. That was not a good idea.
Uh-oh.
It's alright, they're gas station glasses. Alright. That was a good effort.
Yeah.
I know. Hey. No, ma'am.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate all your help, bud. Enjoyed
You're
it.
welcome. Glad you got a little extra show there.
Yeah.
Yes.
How to wrestle a sloth.
excited to see the foxes.
Yeah, they're really cute.
And they're like, their ears are so big.
Yeah, they're huge. And they have a lot of energy.
I used to want one when I was little. Like, it was my dream pet. I want one.
I don't think I knew that they were until I went to a zoo. And then I was like, what is that?
I have a sister that's into exotic animals and stuff. I had never heard of one, and she's like, I want a fennec fox for a pet.
Yeah.
I go, what?
Yeah.
And she showed me, and I was like, I've never seen one of those before, but they're super cute.
That's hilarious.
Because instead of, cats and dogs, she's like, give me a snake, give me
Mhm.
geckos. She's had
Spiders,
spiders, yeah. She had a white hedgehog there for a minute. She had a python until it tried to bite her, and she's like, okay, no more python.
Guys, I'm gonna go out there and catch up with that farm tour. Do you guys have any more questions?
I don't think so.
Awesome. And then your Phoenix Fox is at 11:30,
Mhm.
and then you're just gonna meet at the pavilion for that.
Okay.
All right. I'm
So
gonna.
can we just stay parked right here?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm gonna open this door for y'all. There you go. And if you need to use the restroom, it's right down there.
I guess Benton has
Over the box. All right, guys, this is a micro squirrel. This is the world's smallest kind of squirrel. This is Tick. His wife's name is Tack. He's interesting thing about a micro squirrel, they don't fall down. So his fingers are so small that he's holding onto the lines of my skin. And you just don't feel it. This guy is 3 years old. This is as big as they get. This is called this guy comes from South Africa. Their proper name is African pygmy squirrel or African pygmy dormice. And dormice doesn't mean mouse. It comes from, Kevin was just looking this up yesterday because I had some bad information. I was saying it was the region they were from. The dormice actually comes from the word
Dormitory, or to be quiet.
Yeah, dormitory, French, to be quiet, because they hibernate in the wintertime. So, African pygmy squirrel or African pygmy dormouse. So these guys do make excellent pets. That is as big as they get. They live in a 10-gallon aquarium. You clean that aquarium 4 times a year, summer, winter, spring, fall. And they do not stink like gerbils and hamsters. They do not reek to high heaven like guinea pigs, which might be the worst animal in the world for a pet, in my personal opinion. And say, what? Tick. And that's Tick. His wife's name is Tab. So the reason he's so shaky, if you feel like this, his heart rate is always over 200 beats a minute. And these guys live for 7 or 8 years, even with a heart rate of 200 beats a minute.
Well, this was a big one.
Yeah, 7 or 8, somewhere there. Correct. So, interesting thing about squirrels, not just micro squirrels, but squirrels in general, is that squirrels, when they say that a cat won't expire due to falling, that is completely a myth. If you drop a cat from high enough, it will land with a splat. Squirrels will not. Everything in the world has a terminal velocity. Terminal velocity is the fastest something can fall due to nature. I can tell you from flying jets for the Navy, the terminal velocity for a human is 175, 180. If you come out of your airplane without a parachute, you will achieve that speed. But terminal velocity for a squirrel is around 20. So it takes them about 30 feet to reach their terminal velocity, and after that, it doesn't matter if they fell from 100 or 1,000. They are only going to go as fast as they go. And there you go. Just let everybody have a turn. You can buy one any day of the week that you want to from sugarsplattersrs.com. They will ship them, but they charge about triple what we do. We charge like $149. Just we have them when we have them. We don't have them.